What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Had to backdoor y'all tonight. Had to backdoor y'all. What's up, Sleep? Sleep, you in here. You beat me here. You beat me here, Sleep. What's going on, man? But it's your big brother K-Rino. And like I say, had to hit y'all with a back-to-back. Because I had something on my mind and I wanted to just really address it with us. Because I think it is this topic is one of the biggest things that hold us back, one of the biggest things that hinder us and prevent us from moving forward. And I think it is a. I'll wait till a few more people come in before I do my reveal, which really ain't a reveal at all. Yeah, but as y'all pour into the room, as always is the request on my behalf, I just ask that y'all, as soon as y'all will come in and just click that thumbs up. Um, Even though asking people to click the thumbs up is kind of messed up in a way because you're asking people to hit it before they even know what the content is going to be. So you're basically saying you're basically asking for something for nothing. But the good thing about the like button is that you can click it now. And if you realize kind of halfway through, like, I ain't feeling this, you can actually take your like back. I've done that before. I've clicked like, and because it was okay, they said click like. So okay, let me click the like. And as the person started talking, I was like, I don't like this. So I took my like back. So y'all had that same option. Y'all have that same option with me. You can actually take your like back if you don't like where we're going with this. So I'm just asking you in advance to click the like button because I guess based off of my own confidence that I'm gonna drop some news on y'all that y'all can use. So this is what we're on tonight, asking the question, who or what is our biggest opposition? What is our biggest hindrance in life? What is the thing or things that truly hold us back? You know, what are the things that truly hold us back, man? And whatever those things are, once we're honest with ourselves about what those things are, why do we continue to let those things hold us back? See? Because many people would agree. I'm sure some of y'all would agree. Some people may not, but many people would agree that we have the power to control our own successes or failures. We have that power. And if we actually have that power, then by that logic, there should not be anything that should be able to hold us back um, permanently. Now, can things happen that set you back and get back up? Yeah, but I'm speaking about permanently. I'm speaking about over a period of years and years and years and decades, where you see certain people who seem to always be in the same place. Or if you are one of those people who are always in the same place, always, yeah. But the narrative is, and just nothing ever good ever happens to me. I never get any breaks. I never have any good luck. You know, because you have people that carry that type of mentality and not understanding that. Now, it's not that you don't ever get any good breaks. It's not a question of why doesn't anything good ever happen to me. It's not a question of that. The real question is, why don't you make good things happen for yourself? Why don't you work to create good breaks for yourself? And do you walk around carrying the mentality that for some reason, don't know why, but for some reason, the world owes me something. The world owes me something. Just, I don't know why I think that. I've seen all these different people walking around all my life that are getting up, going to work. I've seen people struggling and getting knocked back down, getting back up, going hard in the paint. But for some reason, I feel like things should be handed and given to me because I'm me. I ain't done nothing to earn it, nothing to deserve it, nothing to be worthy of it. I'm just me. So the same opportunity that guy got, that he fought and scratched and grinded and worked for and earned, I should get that same opportunity just because. And if I don't get it, if you don't give me that opportunity, then guess what that means? That means that you a hater. If you don't give me that opportunity, that means that you got something against me. You got it in for me. Dude might not even know you. Dude may look at it like, look, man, I'm trying to establish something and I'm trying to link up with people who are qualified to help me build and establish and grow what I'm building. And I can't take no chances with somebody who ain't qualified. Even if it's a friend or a family member, because that's when a lot of times it comes into play, when it's a friend or a family member and you feel like that friend or that family member is supposed to hook you up because he's your cousin, because he's your homeboy, your homegirl, because he's your daddy or she's your mother. Entitlement coming in all forms. Even poor people that develop a sense of entitlement. We ain't never had no reason to feel entitled to anything. But yet, we have it in us somehow to feel entitled. So it's never your fault when things don't line up correctly for you in your life. It's always somebody you can look at and go, it was him, it was them, it was her, and they are your opposition in your mind. But a lot of times when we have that mind frame, it's not just in one isolated situation. People have a history of acting like that. You can go all the way back because somehow the root of it started in childhood. And somewhere down the line, you cried and whined, and somebody accommodated you to pacify you. Somebody saw you crying and picked you up like a baby. And when that happened, the light bulb came over on your head, and you were like, this all I got to do? When things ain't going my way, I can just whine about it and cry about it, and somebody's going to have some sympathy for me, even though I don't deserve the sympathy, and somebody's going to come along and bless my game? Okay. And then that pattern just repeated itself all throughout the lifespan of that person or you, if it's you, until you finally hit the brick wall of life where you run into people who don't play that. You run into people who are going to look at you like, dude, I don't feel no sympathy or remorse for you when I'm watching you be lazy, when I'm watching you fail to put the work in that's necessary to get what you claim it is that you want. So you can cry all you want. You can cry until your eye sockets implode. I'm not coming to your rescue. I'm not going to be the bailout. I'm not going to reach over and tie my cape around my neck to come and save you. And you were well capable, more than capable, of saving yourself. So who's your biggest opposition? What's your biggest opposition? Because it's going to be a who and it's going to be a what. That's why I put it in the title the way I did. Who and what is your biggest opposition? What are the typical things that we brand with that, we give that label to? Who do we accuse of being that opposition typically? Lose, oh man, you know what, man? It's the government. It's the government, man. The government is holding us back. The government has created circumstances that prevent us from doing this and prevent us from doing that and doing. It's the government, man. Well, you know what? At the root of that, you're right. I wouldn't be foolish enough to not acknowledge the role that society and government and this system plays in holding us back or blocking us from certain opportunities. I wouldn't be foolish enough to not acknowledge that because there's absolute truth in it. We can go deep down into that rabbit hole and pull a lot out because I do believe that is the root cause. I'll never jump off of that. But one thing that I learned in all my years is that even when you reach a point in life where you understand even the root cause, the root cause of a problem, right? And even especially a problem that relates to you, particularly a problem that relates to you. When you find out the root base foundational reason why, you're going to say, well, man, that's messed up. That's horrible. That's terrible. That's a travesty. However you're going to look at it, you're going to understand why you are where you are, why you are not where you could be. You're going to understand all those things. But the one thing that's just as important to understand after you understand all that is having the understanding that now, what am I going to do? I can't single-handedly go in and just transform the operational structure of government. I can't single-handedly do that. I can't go in and just force policy change. I can't just go in and just force the laws and the mindset of evil individuals who are in control of those systems. I can't go in and rewire the thinking of those people. Can't do it. But what I can do, I can redirect. Excuse the blurriness, y'all. Been having that problem lately. But what I can do, I can redirect my focus. In other words, some people come into that knowledge. They come into the knowledge of the enemy. And they say, well, man, look, Black folks, we was brought here as slaves, man. We were made to serve and build a country for free on our backs, beat, whipped, tortured, stripped of knowledge of self, stripped of language, name, religion, culture, the identity of our God, the original identity of our God. We were stripped of all these things, and we recognize that, and we lock in on that, and we make that the general focal point for us to move on for the rest of our life, while neglecting the solution, while neglecting, okay, now what? I just said we can't go into government and change the policy. And I know what some people might be thinking. Some people, well, man, actually you can. You got to go out, you got to vote. If you get out and you vote, you can shake this thing up. When the election time comes around, you go to the polls and you can vote for a candidate. If you have a problem with that candidate, you vote that candidate out and you vote in somebody that's going to get. Well, the problem with that is we don't make the choices of who these replacement candidates are going to be. We don't choose the choices. Say that again. We don't choose the choices. The choices are laid out in front of us. So again, it's like going somewhere where they have a food spread laid out. You go to this place, say, yeah, they're gonna have food there. What they gonna have, I don't know. So you get there, and the spread is already laid out. You know, they got the little tray, I mean, not trays, but the little aluminum dishes where they keep the food at. And you walking down the line just looking to see what they got. You like, okay, they got some dressing. Now, wait a minute, okay, that's some mixed vegetables. Okay, that's some turkey necks. You looking at it, but you had no say so in the formulation of the menu. You had no say so in it. You just showed up and looked, and now you got the choice to say, yeah, give me a little of that. I'll take some of that. But it wasn't your choice. That's how it is with politics on a national level, to where it's like, I didn't pick Biden or Trump. I'm just using them two as an example because they're the latest. I didn't select Hillary. Wasn't my choice. Whoever's in the pool, I had no say so of who went into the pool. Now y'all telling me I just got to pull one out this hat. So the focus has to change and go towards asking the question, okay, well, what can I control? You know, people say, don't stress over things that you can't control. Focus on the things that you can control. We've all heard that, right? And it's a true statement. Because if you legitimately have no control over it, you're wasting your time. But what can I control? Well, I can make sure that I figure out what my gift and my talent is in order to make it work for me and be able to sustain me and my family through what God has blessed me with. I can control linking up with other brothers and sisters who have a similar focus, that say, well, man, okay, well, we can come together and do this together. We can combine our talents and resources, and we can do this together. You good at this, I'm good at that, he's good at that, she's good at that. We can do that. So unity is something that we can control. So, but with lack of unity, being one of the what's when I ask the question, what is our biggest opposition? So we could say that one of our biggest oppositions may be the system and those who crafted it. But our biggest opposition is our lack of unity. We won't come together. So many things could be rectified, so many things could be eliminated from our list of problems if we would only just say, well, man, we're going to form some form of united, I don't want to say a united front, but yeah, there's some form of unified structure that will prevent a lot of things from happening to us. So if the police beat up and kill or shoot and kill a black man who's unarmed, we got something in place to deal with that. If there's food shortages in our neighborhoods and people are struggling, just that families are struggling to have a regular meal in every city, we got something in place for that. If our children are not safe in our own community, people are jacking and selling dope, and we got something in place for that. If other members of other communities are mistreating us and being disrespectful to us in terms of us spending our money, and they setting up shop in the communities that we live in, and then they start mistreating us, we got something in place for that. There's an alternative. A lot of the times we get dogged out because that version of opposition, that component of opposition, they are well aware that they ain't got no other alternative but to come to me. So I can talk crazy to him. I can say what I want to say. And he gonna be right back in here tomorrow buying some cigarettes. See? But when an alternative presents itself, wait a minute, look across the street. Oh, they got a black-owned grocery store over there. Wait a minute. Oh, they got a black-owned beauty supply store. They selling hair over there. Now, respect comes into play. It's kind of like if somebody is in a relationship and the person who's doing the other person wrong, they got low self-esteem too. But your self-esteem is lower than theirs, so they're the most dominant person in the relationship because they self-esteem is just a little bit higher than yours because yours is so low, and they gonna treat you a certain way or do you a certain way because they feel in their heart, or they know in their heart, they feel like ain't like she can go get nobody else. So she got to put up with the way I treat her because she ain't good enough to go get nobody else. She can't dump me. And she need to be with somebody. So she can't dump me. And vice versa. Female dogging the dude out. What you gonna do? Get somebody else? And he like, I gotta be with her, man, because I mean, it's better to be alone. But let the day come where that person that's getting dogged out does find somebody else treating them a little nicer, not being disrespectful, not hulling them out. And they start to realize, whoa, this makes more sense. This feels more like natural. This feels more like right compared to what I've been dealing with and enduring for the last however long. This feels more like right. So now when that person starts talking crazy to you, now you kind of standing on your own, like, man, I ain't gotta take this. Where you going? And normally when you say, when they say where you going, you better get back in here, you turn around and you walk back in there and you sit down. This particular time, you said, ain't none of your business where I'm going. You walked on out the door. You broke their power. That's the same principle that needs to be in play. Break their power. So you want to talk crazy to me and disrespect me, rush me, hurry up and get out the store. Give me that money. Here, take your change. They don't want to touch your change. They don't want to touch your hand when they give you a change. You ever had, hold on. I just happen to have some change sitting right here next to me. You ever went to a store in the hood and you pay and you had somebody give you a change like this? Not saying that you just want them to touch your hand. I'm not, I just want them to touch my hand. Like it's a sign of respect that our hands made contact. But just as a human being, just as a person who commands respect, and I am a respectable human being. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. But because you view me as only a dollar sign and an animal, you feel as though that this money that's been passed around all over the planet, the physical money is dirty itself. Just the physical money. If you understood how dirty a dollar bill was, a 20, a 5, because of all of the hands that it's been passed around to, all the time it dropped on the floor, all the time it was in this area or in that area, it's dirty, physically dirty. But they would rather touch that dirty money than to by chance have their hand just graze against yours as they place your change in your hand. So instead of that, you almost drop your chain like, whoa, hey man, that's a lack of respect. That's a lack of respect. So you know it coming in, and somehow you like right back in the store the next day. Because your self-esteem won't allow you to say, well, you know what, man, if I gotta drive all the way to another store, I'll do that before I let this dude continue to disrespect me. I'm not gonna allow that to happen anymore. Or if another alternative presents itself, they'll change their tune. So that is the opposition. The way they are treating us, the way they act, that's an opposition. But the biggest opposition is how we respond to it or how we don't respond to it. That's the biggest opposition. That's the biggest problem that we're dealing with. And that's why it continues. That's why it continues. Because they know it ain't going nowhere. Just like the bad relationship, she ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. Our unwillingness to get out of a bad situation that we recognize. See, it's one thing when you are in a bad situation and you don't even know it. Sometimes that's possible. Sometimes you can be in a bad situation, and because you've been in it so long, or because you've been in it all your life, you just feel like this is just how it is. This is just the norm. It's kind of like some of y'all and us, where you wake up every morning, right? And when you wake up, you're sluggish. You're like, oh man, you're tired. Your stomach feels tight. You're uncomfortable. And then you get up and you're slagging around and you slag. And you do this every day. And your explanation to it is, well, that's just, I'm getting old, man. Or that's just how it is when you wake up. Your body gotta kind of just bring itself back to life. But then you start to do things exercise wise. You start to change certain aspects of your diet. You start to eliminate certain things. You cleanse your system out. So now you wake up now and you're like, I feel good. Or you out and about on your regular day where normally you just kind of barely slugging around. Now you got a little bounce like, I feel good. Because you had become acclimated to a feeling that was not good, but you did it so long, it became natural. You just adapted to it and adjusted to it. So you didn't know that things were bad until they got good. Then you say, well, man, all this time I've been suffering. You didn't know that it was a better level that you could go to. And that's how a lot of us are just in our life and society. It's like we feel like, well, man, I'm from the hood, live in the hood, gonna always be in the hood. This is how it is with us. We just got a bad roll of the dice, and here we are. Nah, I told you it's a root cause, but if you don't know it's a root cause, you don't know. You just feel like, or some people even go so far, man, God must hate us. God must hate us to have us in this condition. Now, it wasn't God that hated you. It was somebody else that hated you, that put you in this condition. So we can pray to God to get us out of it. But even when you pray to God to get you out of it, you got a job to do yourself. And the best way out of it is to come together, is to unify. So now we see, in the middle of all of our struggles as a people, now we see every day on TV, every day in the streets, every day on the internet, you see all this beef, see all this back and forth, talking and yapping, and all these things that we see within our own community, among our own people. Prominent figures who have the attention of not just the youth, but all members of society. They have respect on both sides. Whoever's beefing, you got people that love them and respect them. You got people that love the other side and respect them. And we see all this back and forth, which in a lot of times, many cases, reaches ahead at some point, because it ain't just the people who are directly involved in the beef that are doing the talking. It's everybody on the sideline talking too. So this is another opposition our beefing with each other, our going to war with each other, right? That is another form of opposition, another hindrance to our success as a collective unit. And everybody who's instigating and speaking on it on the sidelines, throwing more fuel, squirting more fuel on the barbecue pit to keep the fire going stronger, right? And then, God forbid, something happens or something else happens, we right back to square one. As a matter of fact, we are below square one. We like a team that we're not even at 500 right now. We under 500. We are taking major steps backwards. We walking in the wrong, we moving in the wrong direction, y'all. All behind ego, posturing, trying to prove that whatever I say I am, that's what I really am, right? So everybody becomes affected by that because even the people who are not talking about it, look, even the people who are not involved in it, even the people who are not talking about it on their platforms and all that, now you got to factor in the people who are just watching it unfold. I'm taking time out of my day every day to watch it unfold, to see what the new updates and the new developments about it is. That's opposition. That's a hindrance. That's taking away valuable seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, months, years, days, whatever, out of our life individually and collectively that we could be getting bigger things done. We got bigger fish to fry. But guess what? You can't fry the fish if you ain't caught the fish. You can't fry a fish that you ain't caught. And you can't catch a fish when you don't know how to fish. So we at a level where we don't even know how to fish. We don't even know how to bait the hook. So that becomes a hindrance to us. That becomes the opposition to us. That opposition is ignorance. Ignorance is one of, if not the biggest opposition. It's a scripture that says, my people perish from a lack of what? I'll let y'all answer that. My people perish from a lack of what? Taking y'all too long. There we go. My people perish from a lack of knowledge. So if we don't have the knowledge that's necessary, then we can't even get off the porch. So, hey, man, we got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, we got bigger fish to fry. But if I ain't got no fish to fry, if I don't have the fish, I got an empty skillet. And if I don't know how to catch a fish, I'm just in one place, spinning my wheels. So knowledge is something that we have to be focused on so that when we accumulate the knowledge and we match that with some wisdom, then the wisdom will give us the understanding to know that these things are distractions that are wasting our time. But we are attracted to the distractions. We're not attracted to the solutions of our problems. We're not even attracted to addressing our problems. We are attracted to the distractions. That which comes along on a timeline and it looks controversial is something in us that makes us want to click that more than figuring out the solution or ignoring the beef that's going on any level because you got something else that you focused on that's going to be more beneficial to you in the long run. And if you click it, you're not clicking it, you're not clicking on the beef post to get uh, to get excited about it. You clicking on it just to inform yourself about what's going on. Sometimes you need to know what's going on. It ain't about I want to see what the mess. I want to see. I want to see what this mess is. It ain't about that with everybody. Most of y'all, that's what it's about. Because we want to watch something for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we can go back and talk about it like we know all about it. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody has a viewpoint on things that they really don't know about. But sometimes you will watch or read or listen to something just to be kept up on it. Or what wise people do, wise people don't just look at something. Wise people will look into it. Don't just look at it, look into it. To look at it is, okay, they over there fighting. I'm looking at the fight. To look into it is to find out, hey, what happened? Why? What do they got going on? What caused this? They brothers and sisters. Why they get into it? Why they putting guns on each other now? Oh, this what happened? Oh, this what happened? You looking into it. And we don't do that because our motives and our reasons for wanting to see it in the first place are not coming from the right kind of place. So that's an opposition. We get excited about mess instead of taking a legitimate grown folks approach. A real grown person, bro, a real grown person has a built-in mess detector in their head, and you see it. It's a mess radar. It's a gossip radar. And the second you detect any signs of that, you go the opposite direction of it. Ooh, let me go over here and see what they doing. Nah. Oh, that's what they doing? I'm out. I'll hear about it later. I ain't got to see it because it's enough messy people on the scene that it's going to get back to me anyway what happened. But I ain't trying to see it. That's an opposition. That's one of the things that hold us back. If we would go into the lab, man, if we would go into the lab and focus on fixing us, fixing our individual flaws and character issues that we have within ourselves, first recognizing them, because it's like the fish. You can't cook what ain't in the skillet. You can't fix something that you don't even know is broke or you don't think is broken. And even you say, well, yeah, man, you know what? I am broken. But that's like looking up under the hood of the car. The car ain't running. car just stopped. It's not running. So you raise the hood up. You don't really know what you're looking for. It's a bunch of stuff under that hood. So you got to diagnose the problem within yourself. You are the car. You are the car. You have the parts. You got to figure out why I'm not running right. And when you figure out why you're not running right, now you can diagnose and you can get that fixed. But to rise into a level of godly thought process, you think that the creator is looking upon all of this crap that's going on, all this mess and this talking and that he's seeing and that we're seeing happening on the internet, happening at work, happening in real life, happening in schools, happening on the news. You think he's looking at that and going, ooh, let me see what's gonna happen next. Nah, he's disappointed because we wasting time. Because it is a bigger enemy who crafted the entire construct that we see. This whole internet thing, this whole setup is designed in a way that gives us the platforms to go at each other. It's set up like that. It's the plan. And we walk right into it. YouTube, Instagram. See, LW hit the nail on the head because she said World Star, Shade Room, and other viral social media stuff. Yeah, because controversy sells. Controversy is it's a business. It's an industry. So you see, like you say, World Star, Shade Room, those are industry. Those are entities that have become businesses that live and thrive financially off of, feel confident when I say or when I think, hey, y'all, look, y'all know when I start talking some real stuff, they start interrupting my stream. So look, if it stops or stalls, y'all just stay on and wait for it to pop back on. But those sites, I'm confident, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, what percentage of good stories compared to the bad stories? If you say this is mess and this is good stories, what is it? 90-10, 80-20? Because all of that friendly stuff, it ain't moving the needle, right? That ain't what moves the needle. What moves the needle is this one said this about that one. Thumbnail. This beef escalated, blah, blah, blah. See, that's what moves the needle. Mess moves the needle. But they don't care about the people. Because, and this is going to be the topic of my next podcast episode, the Underground Dialogue podcast. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to that. But that's going to be the topic. People who instigate these types of beefs only for views and clicks. Because it's lucrative. So where we might spend hours trying to better ourselves, man, trying to do an online class or trying to gain some knowledge of self, studying other things online and watching those types of YouTube videos or whatever. Instead of that, we got to get the latest update on the soap opera The real life soap opera that we've been following for 4 months, 2 months, a year, however long it is. And it's all playing out on the world stage. And when somebody gets hurt or worse, which we've already seen, it's on to the next. And it's splitting people down the middle. It's splitting groups, splitting and dividing groups up into groups. Because this one is going to say, well, I ride with them. I rock with him. No, I rock with them. Well, he fraud. No, she fraud. No. Are worried about. These are the things that grown people are worried about. They've stopped it again. Connection stopped again. I always say they. I be accusing like there's some forces behind it, but I just, the only reason I do that, y'all, is because I could be totally wrong. It just seems like more times than not, it seems like when I get on something, when I start talking about something that's really something, that's when that usually happens. See? So excuse me for my conspiracy theorist thoughts. That's our biggest opposition, man. Is our lack of unity, our ignorance, our unwillingness to correct our own behavior, all of us. That's what holds us back more than any government policy can, because unity would put us in a mind frame that we would decide like, hey man, you know what? I don't even have to be a part of this no more. We can separate from this. We have enough among ourselves now that we can separate from it. Well, who's gonna make the toilet paper? We got somebody that can do that. How we gonna get some food? We have skilled agriculture experts among us, scientists among us, doctors among us, builders among us, architects, contractors. We have business people, accountants, money people. We got all that among us. We got everything that we need, except the willingness to come together. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Let me go back into time a little bit. I'm gonna scroll backwards so I may comment on something that y'all said 30 minutes ago. But I will catch up. Hold on, y'all. I'm just looking for that comment that's gonna fire me up. Both sides are under the same umbrella. T10. The problem is, is that it's more than two sides. It's a lot going on. It's more than two sides. It's more than two things that are causing the problems among us. I just laid them out. At the root of it, yeah, you got the enemy. But you also have social media distraction. You also have our own ignorance and laziness. We also have our lack of unity. We also have individuals on the ground that manipulate us, use us, and blood suck our communities. One that I forgot to mention that people bring up as well, people may bring up their upbringing. but I had a hard life. Yeah, that's true. But we also have the power to change our own condition. We need to replace all people in position of power in every neighborhood. Well, if you're talking about grassroots politics, just local politics, city council people and even judges and um, sheriffs and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, we got more of a grip on that. We can move those people out. But like I said, that stuff that goes on higher up, that stuff that goes on the high levels, on the high hill, you got no control over that, man. That stuff is already set in its places. We can build from the grassroots level. We can make change. And I just don't believe that those national elections, we that's one of the biggest con jobs that continues to be played on the people, and particularly on black people, because we get caught up in that crap every 4 years. Ooh, we gonna vote against this one. We got such and such running this year. And like I say, we don't choose them. We ain't choosing who we choose. The biggest con job. And neither side ever does anything for us. They do for every group but us. I'm speaking the facts. Keto, you was in yeah, that's right. Hold on, you was in Toronto? Man, did you? I'm tripping, man. Yeah, no. I'm trying to remember. Did you introduce yourself? Did you say, "Hey, I'm Keto in the kitchen"? Forgive me if I don't remember. Appreciate the love. They switched the laws of the land to the laws of the sea. That's why the Statue of Liberty sits surrounded by water. Lemon, no more fear, unshamed, baptized. Trying to find that comment, man. Click the like button if you haven't already. We'll see if we can get to 100 likes, man. I had the knowledge but no wisdom. That's big. People don't understand the difference. People compare the two and think it's the same thing. It's not. Knowledge and wisdom is not the same thing. You know? For every problem, there is a solution. That's a fact. The problem with the problem is that we are not able to always find a solution, or we don't even look for it. Or we walk around acting like it's not even a problem, or not knowing it's a problem. But at the end of the day, we have to all take it on ourselves to, regardless to what was imposed upon us by any man, any entity that's in place, we got to take it upon ourselves to fix our problems. We got to fix our problems. Can't wait on nobody. He who hesitates is lost. We can't wait on nobody. Everybody talking about stuff that they don't know about. Let's get to 100 likes, man, and I'll let y'all make it tonight. I ain't gonna stay. They keep on coming in on my stream too, man. They keep interrupting. Yeah, they going hard tonight. Life Path says, yet millions line up to enter the belly of the beast to be chewed up and spit out. That's because the dream has been sold. The dream has been promoted, marketed, and sold. So way back from the early days, early America, where it was just billed as this place, is what they call it, the land of opportunity. But for who? Yes, the land of opportunity, but for who? So a lot of people still have that delusional thought process that America is this place where you can come and for some people that have absolutely been the case. Because I told y'all earlier how other cultures come over here and they get rich off the hood. They come over here and create generational wealth out of black folks' pockets. So for some people, yeah, they have realized that American dream, like, ooh, I know what to do. And then they give everybody else in their family the game. Evil anymore. No, look, the mask is off. The mask is off. They not hiding it at all. They letting it be known and clear what the agenda is. If you got a dude like Bill Gates who can stand up in front of a whole crowd of people and then it's filmed and recorded and placed on YouTube for millions and millions to see, and you got a guy that can straight up say, hey man, with new vaccines, we can probably cut the population down by 15%. You just freely say that, then yeah, you ain't hiding it no more. You open with it. So you open with it, mixed in with the thought that I can say what I ever want. These people are so stupid. I'm so wise and smart beyond the comprehension of the average person that I can tell you what I'm doing right to your face and you won't even recognize or understand what I'm talking about. You'll shake your head and go, okay, yeah. Cut the population down. Yeah, 15%. Bill Gates got to be right because he's a billionaire, right? He's got to be right. He's got to be smarter than all of us because he's a billionaire, right? He's got to be, what he's saying has to be the right thing to do because he's one of the most wealthiest men on the planet. So, right? How can you argue with Bill Gates? Motor Culture says, my biggest opposition in life, fighting spiritual attacks, protecting my high self-esteem, and staying in the spirit of remembrance. Knowing who I am and what I'm supposed to do. Can't forget that. Well, see, I'm going to tell you why I give you a lot of props on that comment, Mo. You get big props for that comment because everything you said represents you talking about things that are within yourself, not placing outside blame on nothing or nobody else, even though there is blame to go around. See, we got to know how to walk the line and find a balance between, because people will say, yeah, you just sitting up, all y'all do is complain and blame people for y'all. And no, it's a balance. Because There is an opposition that is at fault for the condition that my people are in and that the world is in. But the balance is also, like I've been saying, which is the whole premise of this whole thing, is saying, well, okay, yeah, that all that's good and fine, but now it's still up to us to correct the problem that somebody else created. So we are in a mode of insanity because we are going to the very people who created our problems, asking them to fix them. Think about that for a minute. The people who created the problem now are saying, come over here, I'll fix the problem that I created for you. And we go straight to them. It's insanity, man. Trying to catch some of y'all's comments, man. The American dream, the American, the American dream ain't even a power nap. Humans are easy to control. That's why many join cults. Yeah, that's a good point, Mr. Urban World. We have been made easy to control. We are on autopilot now. We don't like remote control. Now we don't like just autoplay. That's what I wanted to say. We on autoplay right now to where you got it to where it's set up to where you don't even have to physically click the next song to come on. You just got your playlist running. That's how America got us. That's how the world got us. We do everything by design. Let's just get up. We're going to wake up, go work for them. Everything we work for, or the majority that we work for, we give it back to their entities. Think about y'all's own life, y'all life. Just think about your life. You as an individual. Think about the money that you make, right? Whatever you do for a living. If you work 5 days a week, whatever your work schedule is, the majority of the money that you earn working, you give it away as soon as you get it. Because you got to pay rent or mortgage, lights, gas, phone, water, insurance for this, insurance for that, car note, this one. The majority of the money that you get, you give it right back the second it touches your hand. That's how the world is set up. If people say, "Well, man, that's how it's supposed to be." That's like duh. That's how it's supposed to be. But who's happy doing that? Who's happy doing that? And by the time you done, when the smoke clears after payday, you left holding crumbs. You left holding the same change that the dude at the store didn't want to put in your hand. You left holding crumbs. Does that make sense? And you reach a point where you start to question that. You waking up every day. See, sometimes it takes people a while to catch on. But I've seen many people, friends, family, many people that have they will bring that up like, man, we get up every day. I get up every day, go to work hard, 8 hours a day, come home, get my check, and barely got enough money to make it to the next check. Forget paycheck to paycheck. It's like you struggling to get to the next check. Because the majority of what you earn, and that ain't talking, they ain't even talking about what they tax off the top. The majority of what we earn, we give it away instantly. Stacy R says, until you old, till you die. I just don't think that that's a fair exchange. I just don't make sense to me. Anon says, even if you're paying a mortgage, the interest rate means you pay twice as much as your house value in interest rate by the time you pay off your mortgage and then have to pay property tax. When you own the house, you done paid the house off. They thought about it, said, man, he done paid the house off. How can we still possibly get this house out of him? Property tax. So you own the house, but if you don't pay the taxes on the house, the property tax, you can still lose your house. 30-year mortgage, man. You worked all your life to own that house. You don't leave that house. Or you did your job and then you die, and then your children mess the house off because they don't pay the taxes. Bro, this thing is set up crazy, man. This is a hamster on a wheel type of world that we in. Triple X, my brother. We hamsters on a wheel, man. We don't generate. We're not generating enough. And then when all that smoke clears, you giving away everybody who gets theirs off the top. God forbid you need something for your family. God forbid your son say, Daddy, Mommy, my tooth is hurting. But I hope you got insurance. And even then, might still pop you. Daddy, Mommy, my shoes I need a new pair of shoes. Man, I can't afford. Shoes cost $110. That's cheap for shoes these days. Well, son, you're going to have to wait. We got to eat. And look how food prices are creeping up. Everybody went crazy behind the price of eggs. How much a carton of eggs cost? Much love, Hungry Joe. Appreciate you, man. How much them eggs hitting for? What them eggs hitting for, man? Got them eggs. Boy, it's going to be hustling them eggs, boy. Got them eggs. Got them brown ones. You own the house, but not the land. So that's part of our opposition. Part of our opposition are all the construct, the laws, the way this thing is set up. That's part of our opposition. My sign is still bothering me, y'all. So y'all see me do my face like this. I mean, to just, try to work it out. Treading water daily. Yeah. Running in place, man. Treadmill. So we got to come together, y'all. Give me 8 more likes and I'll get out y'all way. If you haven't hit the like button, click it right now. Click that thumbs up right now for your big brother. Meanwhile, drop your locations. Keandria, drop y'all locations, man. So I can shout y'all out. Debt is slavery. One of our biggest oppositions is our mismanagement of money. We mismanage money. We don't know. We have no financial literacy. We are financially illiterate. That's one of our biggest hindrances. And we have people that tell us what we should do with our money, and they're giving us bad advice. They're giving us advice that funnels us and funnels our money back into the machine, not into our own communities. Mitchie say we got tricked, homie, without a doubt. Queen Elizabeth owns the most land on earth. Queen Elizabeth don't own nothing now. Queen Elizabeth is in the land. But I understand what you mean. Knowledge, appreciate the love, man. My biggest opposition in my life has been myself. That's the moral of the story. I said, who/what is the biggest opposition in your life? But the answer to the question of who is me and you. Because everything that we don't have, we can get. The devil can only tempt. You have to accept the offer or reject the offer. That's right. Fairbanks, Alaska. Let me get these shout outs, man. I need 3 more likes. I bet y'all won't do it. Sherman, Texas. Dallas, Georgia. Cali. Minneapolis. What's up, Globby Mobby? That's a name right there. LA. Is that LA or Louisiana? That's LA. San Antonio. Maryland. Chattanooga. Ocean State. Okay, yeah. Blonimus Prime, my homie. Yeah. Quebec, Canada. Portland, Oregon. ZE said homesteading might be the answer. Fairbanks, Alaska. California. I see you, Zawaji. Grand Deception. Austin, Texas. I'm trying to get back to Southwest, South by Southwest, man. If I get booked, they don't book me, then I ain't gonna be there. I ain't coming. And I lost my spot, bro. Also, okay, there we go. Them eggs got boys wounded out here. Big City South. Georgia. DC Static, okay. Hungry Joe in the 210. Overbrook. Phoenix, Arizona. South Granville, Australia in the building. Memphis, Tennessee. I hope I ain't preaching to the choir, man. Everybody don't agree with you, you know. Is your track, who is this, based on a true story? It's a true story for somebody. Parts of this story are based on actual events. Southwest A-Leaf, Texas. Yeah, man, let me show y'all this real quick. This is the shirt, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all got to go order it. This comes in a comic book bundle. You can have this very shirt that I got on right now. As soon as I said that, dollar bill popped on the screen. You can go right to the site and get this shirt tonight. You can go to the site and get this shirt tonight. Oh, my bad. I'll just hang on if my thing get interrupted. But we are our biggest opposition, man. That's the who. The what, yeah, that is the system and all of its components. So big reveal, huh? Nah, not really. Well, to some it might be. But what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to change it, man? What role does lack of confidence and self-doubt play in being opposition to us, to holding us back? What role does that play? Many of us don't get stuff done because we don't believe we can do it. Or fear. Fear is a big part of our lack of progress. Scared. And I said this before, people ain't just scared to fail. People are scared to succeed. That might sound dumb to some of y'all. What you mean? How can somebody be scared to succeed? Trust me, there are a lot of people out there that are afraid to succeed because with success comes responsibility. With success comes a spotlight that now there's a focus on you. There's a lens on you that people are looking like, okay, now you got some work to do. You got some stuff to do now. People don't want that. People, nah, man, that's too much. So we always get this thing about why people are afraid to fail. No, there's a lot of people that's afraid to succeed. They just don't want that. They feel like the weight is too much. They don't want people coming at them, asking them for stuff all the time. They just rather be under the radar, low profile, incognito. Appreciate the love, Mike. As always, Mike, I appreciate you, man. I never, I always be glad when I see you in the building, Mike. Let me just say that straight up. And Adam Anarchy says success can be scary because it can be lost. Some people fear that. They feel they like, I don't want to get all this and lose it. And everybody's going to be looking at me talking. Bro, knowledge and the application of it will protect you. Don't run from it, run to it. Because the success is not just for you. You should want to be successful not just for you, but for your family, for your people, for the generations after you. You should want to make the next person's road easier than the one you traveled down. That's all it is. That's how it goes, man. So back to Jasmine. So Jasmine, you were in Toronto? Because if so, you did not. No, man, my memory sucks. You didn't introduce yourself to me as Keto in the Kitchen Jasmine, did you? Because I would have instantly knew that was you. But I'm remembering Jasmine. I'm remembering that. I remember that. I remember. Did I sign something for you? You said Colorado. Okay, you throwing me off now. You throwing me off now, Jasmine. I'm confused. Wait a minute. You know, I was in Colorado. I moved to the southeast. Okay, all right. So you wasn't in Toronto. I thought you said earlier on this thing, you said it was that you met me in Toronto. I could have swore I saw that. Maybe I misread. Okay. All right. All right. That's all good. Let's balance out our let's balance off our or get control over our urge to gravitate towards the distractions, the beef, the mess, all this different stuff. Let's move away from that. That's a setup, man. All that stuff that they got us watching, all how they got us divided against each other, man, that's a setup. We choosing sides among our own people to say I'm with this one, I'm with that one. We wishing harm on each other. Well, I hope this one do this or that. Well, if he do this to them, if he boy, he better leave him alone. He better. Why are we so excited about that crap, man? It's a setup. It's a lot going on. Meanwhile, while you over here looking at this, the other side, the other hand is over there stirring something big up that's going to affect us all. I told y'all about the carnival attractions. You go to the carnival and everybody runs to see this attraction. And then there's another one over here and everybody runs to see this one. They just send you from place to place. But they cooking up something at all times, man. Remember that. The so-called powers that be, they cooking up something for us at all times. And if we not careful, not only whatever they cooking up, we gonna get dropped in the pot. Dylan says, I lost a child in the hands of the evil medical practitioners. That's a horrible thing, man. That's a horrible thing. Yeah. Sorry for your loss, Dylan. Let's pick each other up, man. And don't be so quick to speak before we know what we're talking about. Find out what you're talking about before we start running our mouth because we looked at a headline, looked at a thumbnail, and just took off running on it. Learn to read between the lines. It's like when they use the word allegedly. Such and such is alleged as da, 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 da. We dismiss the allegedly part. We say, oh man, this dude done killed somebody. No, he allegedly. They ain't figured that part out yet. But we take it and run with it. How am I supposed to cope with my oppositional social phobia? You have a social phobia? One step at a time, man. Don't look at the whole of society. Don't look at it like I'm actually engaging with the whole of society. I can't do it. Just engage with this person. Yeah, everything's on an individual basis. I ain't worried about all them over there. I'm thinking about them. They ain't thinking about me. Talking to the person I'm talking to, engaging with them, move on to the next. Break it down into components. Tim's, you been in the hospital, man? Hope everything is all right. God first, man. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.